This is the solution video for section 9.2, problem number 3. Alright, so it says let f be the function with first derivative defined by f prime of x equals cosine of x squared for x between 0 and 2.5. For what value of x does f attain its maximum value on the closed interval 0 to 2.5? Alright, so first of all, what we need to do is we need to think about, okay, how do I find out where a maximum occurs? Well, we need to know the sign analysis of the derivative. Okay, so the derivative is cosine of x squared, so of course this is a calculator question, right? We do not know what the graph of that thing looks like off the top of our head. So I go to my calculator, all right, and we are going to graph. All right, so cosine of x squared, right? And make sure you're in radians. All right, so cosine of x squared. Now, right away, window. X is between 0 and 2.5, so make your x minimum 0 and your x maximum 2.5. All right, now we will adjust the y's, but I need to look at the graph first. So you can kind of see, but it's easier if you change the y's. So I'm going to change them to like -2 to 2. All right, so I always look at the graph first before I change the y's. All right, so now I have this. All right, so pretty easy to see that. So now let's go ahead and get a screenshot of that, or you should just draw it, of course. All right, so we draw that. All right. So now let's go ahead and draw on this and see what we're looking at here. All right. So first of all right, at 0 right here and 2.5 is here. Okay, now we see that the derivative is 0 right here. Call that A. The derivative is 0 right here. Call that B. All right, so we have 0 to A. What's going on from 0 to A? F prime is greater than 0, right? This graph is above the x-axis, so we say it's positive. All right. Between A and B, f prime of x is less than 0. So it's negative, right? The derivative is negative. All right. Between B and 2.5, we know that f prime is greater than 0, right? Because it's above the x-axis, so it's positive. All right. So what does that mean? All right. Starting at 0, we have an endpoint. Now, the derivative is positive, meaning we would go up, right? We would increase until we get to A. A is where the derivative changes from positive to negative. Well, that would represent a local maximum. All right, then from A to B, the derivative is negative. Therefore, this function is decreasing. All right, and then at B, the derivative changes from negative to positive, which would indicate a local minimum. And then at 2.5, between B and 2.5, the derivative is positive. So between B and this endpoint, we would be increasing. All right, so then we say, okay, well, where could a maximum, right, we're looking for a maximum, occur? Well, it could be at A or at 2.5. So what we want to do is we want to compare the values at A and 2.5. So we're going to integrate the f prime of x function from A to 2.5. Now, what is this going to represent? This is going to represent the change in f, right? Remember, we're integrating f prime, so it's the change in f from 0 to 2.5. Now, let's think. If this change is positive, that means from A to 2.5, we must have gone up. If this change is negative, from A to 2.5, we must have gone down. All right, so the integral from A to 2.5 is going to be equal to f of 2.5 minus f of A. All right, so then in order to start this calculation, we need to know what A is. All right, so we go to our calculator, and we already graphed it, so now I'm going to find A. So I'm going to do second trace, and I want the 0, so number 2. All right, so now left bound. All right, so I'm going to go to the cursor, where the cursor is on the left of that 0, so I hit enter, and then I'm going to go to where the cursor is on the right of that 0, and I'm going to hit enter, and I don't need to guess a number because the 0 is the only 0 in between those two. All right, and so I get 1.253. So A, so we can write that down, A is approximately 1.253. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my calculator and I'm going to calculate. All right, so I'm going to go here, all right, and I'm going to do math 9 once again. All right, so now what do I want? Well, I already typed the equation in, so I could do like vars, y vars function number 1. All right, so I want to integrate y1 with respect to x from 1.253 to 2.5. All right, and so now I close parentheses there, and I get -0.372. All right, so what does that mean? That means this thing is -0.372. So that means that negative 0.372 is approximately what f of 2.5 minus f of a is, right? So let's make this a little easier. F of 2.5 minus f of a is approximately negative 0.327, which is a negative number. Therefore, this thing is less than 0. So what does that mean? That means that if I move the f of a over, f of 2.5 is less than f of a, right? Simple algebra, just add f of a to the other side of the equation, right? And so what does that mean? I'm looking for the maximum. F of a and f of 2.5 were the only places a maximum could occur, right? Here and here. Therefore, the maximum occurs at, well, at x equals a, right? Or 1.253, right? Because f of a is greater than f of 2.5.